Solving quadratic equations by factoring. Our first problem, we have x squared minus 6x plus 8 equals to 0. So to solve this quadratic equation by factoring, first let us find out if there is a numerical coefficient or number before x. So since there is no number before x, we will base our factoring on the last term, which is positive 8. Okay, so what we are going to do, we are going to have here two sets. Okay, and then equate this to 0. Now, we will find two numbers, or we will find factors of positive 8. So these two numbers, when they are multiplied by themselves, it will give us a product of positive 8. And then make sure that these two numbers will give us a sum of negative 6x or negative 6. Okay, so let us think of those two numbers. Now, since this is negative, the two numbers must also be negative. So let us put here their sign, negative, negative. Okay, so what are the two numbers that are factors of positive 8? So this will be, let's try 4 or negative 4 and negative 2. Okay, now let us check. Negative 4 multiplied by negative 2 is positive 8. Okay, that is correct. And negative 4 plus negative 2, that is negative 6. So we now have the factors of 8, which is negative 4 and negative 2. So the lacking terms here, we are just going to factor out x squared. So the factors of x squared will only be x and x. So these are the two factors now for our equation. So to find for the values of x, there will be two values. So the first one will be x minus 4 equals to 0, and the second one will be x minus 2 equals to 0. So to find for the value of the first x, we will just transpose or transfer negative 4 to the other side. So if we transpose negative 4 from negative, it will change its sign. So what will be left on the left side will now be positive x. And if we transpose this to the other side, it will change its sign. It will become positive 4. So our x sub 1 here is positive 4. Okay, so our x sub 2, or the second value of x, again, we will transpose negative 2 to the other side. So what will be left on the left side will now be positive x. And then if we transpose negative to the other side, it will change sign. So this will become positive 2. So our x sub 2 is positive 2. So therefore, x sub 1 equals to positive 4 and x sub 2 equals to positive 2. They are our final answers. Next problem. Our next problem is x squared minus 8x plus 15 equals to 0. So to factor out this quadratic equation, first let us see if there is no numerical coefficient or no number before our x squared. So there is no number here before our x squared. So since there is no number, we will start basing our factoring on the last term. Our last term is positive 15. Okay, so we will have two sets here. And then equate this to 0. So we will have here the last numbers. So the last numbers will be the factors of positive 15. So meaning to say they are two numbers that will give us a product of positive 15. And then their sum will give us, okay, when we add the two, it will give us the sum of negative 8. Okay, now since this is negative 8 and this is positive 15, it is safe to say that the two numbers will be both negative. Okay, so let us now think of the two numbers that are factors of positive 15. So let's try 5 and 3. So we have here negative 5 and negative 3. Let us check. Negative 5 multiplied by negative 3, positive 15. So that is correct. Negative 5 plus negative 3, negative 8. So these two numbers are correct. And then we will just factor out x squared. So the factors of x squared, they are just x multiplied by x. So we have now the two factors. Let us find for the values of x. So the first value of x will be x minus 5 equal to 0. And the second value will be x minus 3 equals to 0. So to find for the value of the first x, or x sub 1, we need to transpose or transfer negative 5 to the other side. If we transpose negative 5, what will be left on the left side will be x. And if we transpose negative to the other side, this will change sign. This will become positive. So this will be positive 5. So our x sub 1 is positive 5. And then to solve for x sub 2, we will just transpose negative 3 to the other side. So if we transpose negative 3, what will be left here will be positive x. And if we transpose negative, this will change sign, it will become positive. So negative 3 will become positive 3, and this is our x sub 2. So therefore, x sub 1 equals to positive 5, and x sub 2 equals to positive 3. They are our final answers. Our next problem, we have positive 6x squared plus 17x minus 14 equals to 0. Since our first term has a numerical coefficient, so we will base our factoring on our first term. Okay, so we will factor out our first term. This is equal to 0. So our first term is 6x squared. So the factors of 6x squared, we have positive 3x and positive 2x. And then let us factor out our last term. Our last term is negative 14. So since this is negative, the factors of negative 14 will be negative and positive. Okay. So the factors of negative 14, let's try negative 2 and positive 7. So negative 2 times positive 7 is negative 14. But let us check if we can arrive with the sum of positive 17x. Okay, so let us check if we can arrive with the sum. So to find the sum, we will get the product, okay, the product of the outside and the inside terms. Okay, so we have positive 3x multiplied by positive 7, we have positive 21x. And then we have negative 2 multiplied by positive 2x, negative 4x. So 21x minus 4x, this will give us 17x. So therefore, 17x is equal to our second term here. So we are going to use these two factors. Okay, so let us now erase this, since these are now the two factors that we are going to use. Okay, so we are now going to solve for the two values of x. So we have here 3x minus 2 equals to 0, and 2x plus 7 equals to 0. So to solve for x here, first we need to transpose negative 2 to the other side. So transposing, we will have, okay, so what will be left on the left side will only be positive 3x. And if we transpose negative, this will change sign. This will become positive 2. To solve for x, we need to cancel out 3. So we need to divide both sides of the equation by 3. 3 divided by 3, we can cancel this out since this is equal to 1. 1 multiplied by x, that is equal to 3x. And our x here is equal to 2 over 3. This will be our x sub 1. Okay. So let us solve for our x sub 2. So to solve for x sub 2, we need to transpose again positive 7 to the other side. So what will be left on the left side will only be positive 2x. And if we transpose positive, this will change sign. This will become negative 7. And to solve for x, we need to cancel out 2 here. So to cancel 2, divide both sides of the equation by 2. So 2 divided by 2, this will be equal to positive 1. So cancel that out. Okay. So 1 multiplied by x, this is equal to x. And negative 7 divided by 2, so negative. Okay, we can simplify this to mix fractions. So this will be negative 3 and 1/2. Okay, so our x sub 2 is negative 3 and 1/2. Therefore, x sub 1 equals to positive 2 over 3, and x sub 2 equals to negative 3 and 1/2 are our final answers. Our next problem, we have positive 12a squared minus 28a minus 49 equals to 0. So to solve this quadratic equation using the factoring, so since our first term here has a numerical coefficient before a squared, so we are going to first base our factoring on the first term. So there will be two sets of factors, and this is equal to 0. So the factor of 12a squared, okay, so let us use the factors. Its factors will be 6a multiplied by 2a. So let us check. 6a multiplied by 2a, that is equal to positive 12a squared. So we can use those factors. Okay. And then we are going to factor out our third term. Our third term is negative 49. And then our third term here has a negative sign, and our second term has a negative sign. So what we are going to do with this is that we need to choose two numbers wherein the larger number will be negative, since our second term here is negative. Okay, so let us put here the factors. But the factors of 49, they are only negative 7 and positive 7. Okay, so we are going to put negative 7, okay, on our outside term so that it will be multiplied by 6a. So it will be bigger than the inside terms. So we are going to have here positive 7. So positive 7 multiplied by negative 7 is negative 49. And then let us check if the sum of the outside terms and the inside terms is equal to negative 28a. Okay, so let's get their sum. We have here negative 7 multiplied by positive 6a. This will be equal to negative 42a. And then positive 2a times positive 7, this will be positive 14a. So this will be equal to negative 42a plus positive 14a. This is negative 28a. So therefore, our two factors here are correct since negative 28a is equal to our second term. Okay, so we can erase this one. Okay, since these two factors now are correct, we can now proceed to solving the values of a. Okay, let's erase this first. Now, to solve for the value of a, we have here 6a plus 7 equals to 0, and we have here 2a minus 7 equals to 0. So to solve for a, we need to transpose positive 7 to the other side. So positive 7, transpose that to the other side. So transposing, what will be left on the left side will be positive 6a. And if we transpose positive, it will change sign. This will become negative 7. So to solve for a, we need to cancel out 6. So divide both sides of the equation by 6. So we have here 6 divided by 6. Cancel that out. That is equal to 1. And 1 multiplied by a, this is equal to a. And negative 7 over 6. So this is our a sub 1. And this is equal to negative 1 and 1 over 6. Okay, so let us now solve for a sub 2. So to solve for a sub 2, first we need to transpose negative 7 to the other side. So if we transpose, what will be left on the left side will be positive 2a. Excuse. So we have here positive 2a. If we transpose this, this will become positive 7. So to solve for the value of a, we need to divide both sides of the equation by 2. So we have here 2 divided by 2. This is equal to 1. Okay. So 1 multiplied by a, this will give us positive a, and positive 7 over 2, or this is equal to 3 and 1 over 2. So this is our a sub 2. So this now are our final answers. Our next problem, we have positive 2b squared plus 2b minus 4 equals to 0. Now, since we have here a numerical coefficient before b squared, so we are going to base our factor first on our first term. Okay, so we will have here 2 sets of factors, and this will be equal to 0. So we are going to factor out positive 2b squared. So the factors of 2b squared, we have positive 2b. So positive 2b multiplied by b. And then next we are going to factor out our third term. Our third term here is negative 4. So since this is negative and our middle term or our second term is positive, so the factors that we are going to use with negative 4 will be positive and negative. Okay, so let's put here negative and positive. Now, since this is positive 2b, okay, so we are going to put the positive side of 2 on the side, and the negative will be here. And then let us check if the sum of the outside terms, so this will be the outside terms, if the sum of the outside and the inside term will be equal to positive 2b, then these are the correct factors. Okay, so let us check. 2b multiplied by positive 2, that is equal to positive 4b. And then b multiplied by negative 2, that is negative 2b. So 4b minus 2b, this is equal to positive 2b. Now, since our 2b here is equal to positive 2b, so we can say that these are now the correct factors. So we can now proceed to solving the values of b. So there will be two values for b, b sub 1 and b sub 2. Okay, so to find for b sub 1, we will have here 2b minus 2 equals to 0. And to find for b sub 2, we have b plus 2 equals to 0. So to solve for b, first we need to transpose negative 2 to the other side. So transpose that. So transposing, what will be left on the left side will be positive 2b equals 2. If we transpose negative, this will change sign, this will become positive. And to solve for v, we need to cancel out 2. So to cancel out 2, just divide both sides of the equation by 2. Now, 2 divided by 2, this will be cancelled out since this is equal to 1. And then 1 multiplied by b, this will give us positive b. 2 divided by 2 is positive 1. So this will be our b sub 1. Now, to find for b sub 2, we need to transpose positive 2 to the other side. So transpose that to the other side. So if we transpose, okay, what will be left on the left side will be positive b. And if we transpose this, it will change its sign. So from positive, this will become negative 2. And this is our b sub 2. So therefore, our b sub 1 is positive 1 and our b sub 2 is negative 2. These are our final answers.